Traction control has long been an issue in Formula One racing. In one form or another, traction control helps to get the power to the ground without unnecessary wheel spin. If a wheel spins through too much power being applied, traction is lost, and so is speed, and controlled speed wins races. Computerized forms of traction control can override the amount of power getting to the spinning wheel, and therefore make the vehicle more competitive without driver input. The FIA announced several years ago that traction control would be banned from the 2008 season. Champion driver Michael Schumacher responded at the time.
So I don't see that I should, or any good driver should take the advantage by a big amount. The only way I could see that, and I would agree, is in the rain condition. Because in the rain condition, I believe without traction control in particular, it will be very, very difficult, and you need a lot more feeling in order to be on the pace. At the same time, it will be quite a bit more dangerous, but that has been in the past the same, and we have to deal with that. So it's going to be a little bit more exciting.
Schumacher felt that he, along with other drivers, would no doubt cope with the changes.
For me, I prefer the one where you have all the technical possibilities, because I don't like to take compromises in the race car. I like to make a race car as fast as possible, and all the electronics have helped that. But obviously that's the same for everyone, and if that changes, then it's again the same for everyone. I've dealt with the other system before, so I will deal with them as they come.
As the 2008 season was approaching, Lewis Hamilton also said the removal of electronic aids would put more emphasis on driving skills.
The electronic aids, it hasn't completely been taken away, but we've obviously not got traction control. But it's just then down to your natural ability, being able to manage your tyres in a certain way, being able to have a very, very smooth, progressive right foot, and being able to really exploit that throughout the corners and out of corners and everything like that. You know, a lot of people from my GP2 season with no traction control, people just boot it and light up the wheels, overheat the tyres, and so there's a real skill and knack to it. So I think next year you'll see, for sure, the top car is going to be at the front, whatever happens, but the best driver will shine through, I think, so will be interesting to see who it is.
At F1 Honda, test driver Alex Wurz was forthright about the ability of drivers to cope with the loss of traction control.
But no one should expect that we are drifting like rally cars, because a Formula One car is just fundamentally designed to have a lot of grip on a very narrow slip angle, so you will not have big sideways movements.
Though some drivers thought that the new restriction on electronic aids was going to be demanding.
The banning of traction control is going to have an effect mostly in the sort of unexpected difficult situations. For example, a starting procedure, or maybe when you're battling and overtaking, and especially in the wet. That's going to be very, very difficult. The wet, I think there's even going to be some concerns about safety on the quicker tracks, because without traction control it's quite challenging.
Nico Rosberg saw it as a return to the old days, where the driver didn't rely on technology to control the car.
Traction control will make the importance of the driver rise up, so you can make a bit more of a difference, especially in the wet, probably. So that's a nice thing.
While it remains to be seen whether the ban on traction control and other electronic aids will remain as part of Formula One rules into the future, one thing is for certain though, that this sport remains the ultimate for traditional race car drivers.
Trying to control that much horsepower and a car which is quite delicate without traction control puts a lot more back in the hands of the drivers. But these are professionals, they're well-paid professionals, they go out there with a passion to win, and they have to show what they can do without traction control. There's been a lot of discussion about it, but I think my personal view is get out there, drive the car, show what you can do, and it's about your talent as a driver.